Hi, I'm Dr. George Yancey. Let's share some paradigms. And the paradigm I want to share today concerns Christianophobia and Christian privilege. You see, there's an argument out there that there's no real Christianophobia. There's no real problems Christians have. Basically, what's happened is Christians used to have privilege, they've lost that privilege, and now they're complaining. So let's tackle that issue. First, let me acknowledge that yes, there are some Christians who make everything a matter of persecution, a matter of they hate me because of my faith, all that sort of stuff. That exists. Some people call it a Christian persecution complex. I think the people who use it to excuse things that are not a complex, but it does exist. I'm reminded of some African Americans I've run across who don't do well in class, don't study, and then they don't get the grade they want, they say it's racism. Does that happen with Christians? Yeah, unfortunately it does. So I'm not going here to defend every assertion every Christian has made about Christianophobia. What I am here to argue is that this is real, and merely saying it's privilege is a distortion of reality. Now, what do I mean by this, that it's real? Privilege means something you're getting that perhaps other people are not getting. You have a privilege others do not. When I look at the demands Christianophobia places on us and the arguments I make, it's not about privilege. For example, I've done a video here on Christianophobia in academia, where what I demonstrate is that Christians in academia face higher barriers because of their faith, especially if they're conservative Christians. So the ask being made is that we get a shot at an academic job without being punished for our religious beliefs. Is that privilege? Is that asking for something that other people don't have, or is that asking for what other people get? Unless you're going to a Christian college and one that specifically requires the faculty to have beliefs or church membership or something like that, is you're better off being an atheist going for a job than being an evangelical. If they find you're an evangelical, you're going to be less likely to get the job. That's what my survey shows. Some people will be less likely to vote for you because you're an evangelical. Is why turn that around Christian privilege? Or is this not just another example of Christianophobia? Another thing Christians are asking for, and once again, I'm not defending all persecution claims, but one thing some Christians have asked for is, can we get a fair shot in the media? And yes, some of the work I've done, I have a video here on Christianophobia in the media. Christians are not portrayed in the media often in a fair manner. Classic example. If a mosque is shot up, people talk about the hatred, hate crimes. If a church is shot up, media people talk about gun control. My research shows this. Is that fair? Is it not right to talk about, hey, if a religious institution is attacked, let's have sympathy for whoever it is. I'm fully want to have sympathy when my Jewish friends are attacked or my Muslim friends are attacked. I don't feel bad asking for sympathy if my Christian friends are attacked, not just placating a political agenda. So we know also that Christians are underrepresented in academia and the media. And some of this underrepresentation likely comes from Christianophobia. Is this right? See, these are not claims of privilege. Privilege is I have had something and that's being taken away and I want it back. The claims I'm talking about is this is unfair and I want it to be fair. Why can we have that? Why is that not appropriate? There are cases of Christians who have been fired or not hired because of their religious beliefs. One famous case, Eric Walsh, he had a job situated, was let go for a sermon he preached in his own church. Now, you could disagree with the sermon. It was on homosexuality, and I understand people disagree with that. But do we go around and look at the beliefs of Muslims and say, I'm not going to hire you because of your beliefs, because you believe in Sharia law, even though you're following the laws of this land? Do we do that? Do we go to atheists and say, well, you don't believe in God, and I don't know if I can trust you to be kind to others? Because there is some research showing that religious people tend to be kinder than others. So I'm not going to hire you. Do we do that with other groups? Or is the Christian out of bounds for saying, you don't do that to other groups, don't do that to me? So Christianophobia is a real phenomenon. There are Christians who, once again, engage in a persecution complex. Some of that does happen. But merely using that so that we don't have to deal with Christianophobia, doing that escapes the problems that we have. And when Christians see this, and they see that they have legitimate complaints and people will not address them, but rather say they just have privilege, unfortunately, it makes them less likely to want to address other concerns that other religious groups may have. That's unfortunate. It's not Christ-like, but it is what you would expect. The best way to deal with Christianophobia is to listen to the claims and adjudicate them in a fair manner, rather than what I suspect a lot of people do is automatically blow them off, say Christians are a majority group, and not listen to them at all. And by the way, the notion of Christians as a majority group needs to be questioned as well. Majority groups, like men, like whites, tend to make more money than the minority groups, tend to have better education than minority groups, tend to have more cultural power than the minority groups. That's not true with Christians. Do you know that Jews and Hindus make more money and have better education than Christians do? And culturally, as I've shown in my work time and again, when it comes into academia and the media, Christians are at a disadvantage. Do Christians have advantages in this society? Yes, we do. There are times we have advantages that we should acknowledge that. But it's not the same level of majority group advantage that we typically see with men and with whites. At one point, it may well have been, but that's not the case today. Christianophobia, let's adjudicate it on a case-by-case basis. Let's not automatically assume that Christianophobia is happening, but let's not automatically dismiss, because there's evidence that is very real and it has real consequences for Christians. Does this shatter some paradigms? Ways of thinking of Christian privilege and Christianophobia? I hope we come to a better, more nuanced way of addressing these issues. If these are the sort of the conversations you like, consider subscribing. Enter the conversation. Comment. You disagree with me? Comment. Give me a like if you like this. For a small content provider like myself, these are the things that keep me going. Thanks for listening to me, and please come back. We can shatter some more paradigms.